I've been building a lot of kind of dark and scary houses with the new expansion pack, and it's been fun, but it's just not really my normal vibe. In fact, I haven't even tested out to see if Life and Death works to build a house that more fits my usual style. So that's what we're gonna do today. Instead of dark and moody, we're gonna go for like colorful and cozy family home, but we are only allowed to use the base game and the new Life and Death expansion pack. Listen, it's like a rite of passage. We've got to put every pack through the blue suburban test. So here's kind of what I'm thinking. Imagine like this brick on the first floor and then that kind of lighter paneling on the second floor. And overall, just a bunch of light colors, pretty pastels, that kind of thing. This pack and pretty pastels don't really go hand in hand, but I'm gonna try. Maybe I'll use the white swatches, I don't know. We're also in Willow Creek right now instead of in the New World because I have been non-stop building in that world for about 2 weeks. So I think maybe it would be good for me to branch out a little bit. In this case, branching out to the base game world. Okay, this is a pretty classic Simsie shape for a house, but I do it a lot for a reason. And I'm thinking that we don't want the brick that has the trim. I think I'll just use the regular plain brick. And I kind of like this default color. Same with the upstairs. I really actually like that default color. We're probably gonna want to get some sort of trim around the whole thing though. Something like that. This pack does come with columns, but I don't think that the columns are gonna work with this style. We are unfortunately probably gonna be using base game columns for this. These ones from Life and Death are just very specific. They're a very specific kind of very fancy column. It's not gonna work in every build. The foundation I think could work in a lot of different styles of house though. Like that could be pretty versatile. I actually don't even know if the fence is gonna work because that fence is very rustic looking and this one is like too fancy. So I may have to use a base game fence. I think that fence will lend itself better to like bright Chester builds from university or like building a fancy library or a community lot for me at least most of the time. I don't really like this stone either. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of that. I wish that we had a matching floor, but we don't. They gave us a matching wallpaper for it, but not a matching floor. I kind of would have liked to have had both, I think. Okay, well here's what the outside is looking like so far. Very simple. I'm gonna try to use the roof that comes from this pack too. This does have a slightly more haunted energy to it, which I don't know if that's a good thing. I kind of liked the green. No. Let me try like the bluish gray. No. I need like a brown, but that's too red. Let's try this one. This one's like a dark gray. Now, I don't think that the Life and Death doors are really gonna cut it for us here. Unless we maybe use the plain white ones. I just don't really see a world where this door will work for what we're trying to build. It's like too fancy. It's got skulls in it. I think that about most of the windows too. It's possible that maybe these windows will be okay. Like in the right swatch, maybe it's fine. I do like how big the windows are. I'm just not so sure about the stone nature of them. I could just use one of those big base game doors. I think that looks okay. Oh my gosh, I wasn't planning on making this whole house be like all white everywhere, but honestly, with the little white flower boxes and the white accents, it's kind of nice. Life and Death does have some really pretty wall sconces that we could pick outside. In the back, I'm thinking it might be nice for us to have a really big porch, like raised up. And then I might do something like this custom. Oh God, that looks terrible. Well, maybe it's not that bad, but I like the idea of something like that. I think it's a little bit more interesting. It's not like a completely flat roof like it is in the front. We can put a sliding glass door right there, which is super realistic. Well, what happened if we had a very large pool, kind of like this? We could put some lounge chairs right here. I think maybe it's a little bit too big. That does make the actual yard space not very big, but maybe that's fine. I think that's a pretty decent layout for the house. Let's talk about the interior now and start figuring out the floor plan. I'm kind of wondering about having a separate entrance. I just don't know if I like that for the downstairs. We can use the floor. The floor is cool. I could do it in a really light color if I wanted to. I guess we haven't really tried that yet. This might be the time to try. I don't necessarily like that lighter color that much. Like it's not my favorite, but it's not bad. Yeah, that's a bad layout. Don't do that. Okay, initial thought is that maybe the upstairs gets laid out like this. We've got 3 bedrooms up here and 1 bathroom. There's also space to put a desk in the hallway like this, and you know I always like to do that. I'm kind of trying to think about what direction we should lay out the living room. I'm also trying to fit in an extra bathroom downstairs because I think it'd be nice to have 2 bathrooms. But imagine if the TV was on this wall. We've got a bedroom door, the bathroom door. I'm thinking this could get closed off and this could become like an office. This would be a beautiful spot for the kitchen back here, and then we could put the dining table in the middle. I won't use this exact piece of furniture, okay? But that's a good placeholder. And you can kind of visualize how it's gonna fit. So then it becomes a 4 bedroom, 2 bathroom house. There's 1 bedroom downstairs and 3 more upstairs. Plus, there's an office. And actually, speaking of bedrooms, this is probably a good time to tell you about the sponsor of today's video, Helix Sleep. I've been using a Helix mattress for a little over 2 years now. I bought one back when I first moved into this house because we got a bigger bed. And I actually bought it because I saw another YouTuber talking about it. So I was very excited when they reached out and wanted to sponsor me. I picked out a new mattress for my guest room because I obviously already had one for my bedroom. When you go to buy a Helix mattress, they have you start by taking a sleep quiz so they can help decide which mattress is the best fit for you. You might sleep on your side and prefer a firmer mattress, or maybe you sleep on your back and prefer a softer mattress. They've got something for everyone's taste. I personally am a side sleeper who prefers a medium firm mattress, and based on that, they matched me and Dan with the Helix Dusk. So yes, it is based on Dan and I's personal taste, and I am putting it in my guest room, but I have had a couple friends come and stay this month, and they were both talking about how comfortable it was. If you tend to get hot overnight, you can also add the Glossio-Tex cooling cover, which helps keep you cooler and more comfortable while you sleep. We live in Florida, so this feels like a necessity to me. I've been using it on my mattress for the last couple of years, and I can honestly say that it's helped. And the best part about all of this is that Helix delivers straight to your door with free shipping in the US. The mattress comes rolled up in a box, and it is super easy to set up yourself. I know that for a fact because I have done it twice now. And if it makes you nervous to buy something that you haven't tried for yourself, Helix has a 100-night sleep trial, so you get more than 3 months to make sure that you love it. Plus, Helix mattresses have a 10-year warranty, and they even offer financing options and flexible payment plans, so a good night's sleep is never far away. And unlike other brands, Helix mattresses do not contain fiberglass. They own their own manufacturing facility that is entirely free from products containing fiberglass. You might have heard about a lot of issues with dangerous fiberglass being in mattresses, so I sleep a lot easier knowing that it's not in my mattress. I have genuinely had such a good experience with Helix. It's so easy to buy, I sleep cooler, the mattress is more comfortable. I love my Helix mattress, and I think that you would too. So if you're looking for a bed, you can check out Helix Sleep. Their Black Friday sale is running now for a limited time, and it is a great time to upgrade your mattress. You can visit helixsleep.com/lilsimsie or scan this QR code on the screen to get 25% off your mattress plus 2 free pillows and receive a free bedding bundle with your Luxe or Elite order. Huge thank you again to Helix for sponsoring this video. I literally use their mattress every single day, and I am a big fan. And with that, let's go ahead and get back into the build. All right, let's think about the living room. So we have an actual TV stand from this pack that we can use, and I guess I'll use the white swatch with gold, and we'll try and have that be the theme for the whole build. Does this come in blue? Yeah, okay. Here's where the blue Suburban starts. This is the lightest swatch of the rug. The rest of the colors aren't as light, and I would really like to use it, so I'm gonna try. There is a coffee table, but I think it's too big. Does the rocking chair match? I don't think so. It comes in plain white, but I don't really know if I like that. I'm kind of thinking that if we use any furniture from this pack, it should be like the slightly more glam variants. Doing it like this is bad, right? Because they can't get through. We need to leave space to walk past. I'm obsessed with that chandelier. That's actually so good. I'm not quite sure if the bookshelves are too much, because those are definitely not glam. Those are definitely not like modern glam bookshelves. Those are like very traditional looking bookshelves. And that's not really a bad thing. I'm just kind of trying to figure out how these things blend together. I'm gonna use this little side table, like an entryway table, even though it's kind of small. I got a base game coat rack right next to it. There is a gold version of these countertops, so I guess I'll probably use that one so we can get the white and the gold. We've got a matching fridge. I don't know if I like the gold. Uh-oh. I mean, I guess I do like the gold. I'm just overthinking it. It's all very dramatic. All the build stuff from this pack is very dramatic. Like when you put it in here, it definitely looks like a lot. I think I might try and use a smaller island. Leave ourselves some more space. I'm literally going through every single thing from Life and Death, just looking for any kind of item that might be good to put in here. Oh, they're gonna need these. We should have based the size of this, like based the whole pool section and the size of it on how big these are, because that would have been fun. I'll come back to that once we get outside. How does this look? I think all of the swatches of this are quite dark and scary, maybe is the best way to describe it. But we can try that color. These come in kind of the same swatches, but I don't want them to be identical. I was also gonna use a bigger table, but maybe it's better to stick to the smaller ones. If I get rid of the bar stools, it'll fit better. It was a little bit tight with the bar stools. Do I dare use the same light twice? I think I'm also kind of feeling like this looks bad because the TV is like so low. Ooh, this little bookshelf. This is meant to be like a kid's bookshelf, but that's fine. It fits great in that little corner. I'll probably use the money trash can because you gotta pay for these expensive appliances somehow. So I'll put the money trash can there. Oh, this one might be okay because it has like the slight purple accent to it. We could put that right there. Okay, Life and Death does have plain white wallpaper. They have some really fancy paneling, which I don't think I want to use. And they also have like this owl wallpaper. I just feel like that's better in a kid's room than it is for the living space. And even this one, I think it might be too fancy. And maybe fancy is the wrong word. It's like too traditional, I think is the problem. Because I'm okay with fancy, but I don't really want it to look as traditional as that does. That's why I almost kind of prefer this more plain base game one. We could also maybe do it with an even more plain version like this. And that might fit our artwork a little bit better. Okay, I put an hourglass, a music box, and some books on a little TV stand. I'm probably gonna want to get a little bit of kitchen clutter too. This isn't really as colorful and pastel as I thought it was gonna be, but I guess in hindsight, it can't really be colorful and pastel with the stuff from this pack. That was definitely some wishful thinking from me. It is pretty though. It's like blue and purple kinda. Maybe we embrace the blue in this little office space that I'm making. We can get some built-in bookshelves. I think that desk looks ridiculous with the bookshelves that I have. They are completely different styles, but it's okay. I'm gonna try to make it happen. I think with this rug, it kind of blends together. We can get a nice computer. I'll use my little Grim Reaper pictures, I guess. I can't take these seriously. Like that. With this picture? That's so silly. Because this is turning into like a skill building room for the study, I might put the bonsai tree over there, and I also might get an easel. I think it might just be a nice thing to stick in the corner so your Sims have lots of options to skill build in here. Oh no. That tile wallpaper does not work. I really wanted to have like the pretty white subway tile, but none of the floors are gonna match this. We need like a bigger tile, but there's not a lot of large format tile in the base game. I wonder if we tried this with like the fancy wallpaper for the bathroom. This isn't gonna work, is it? We can't have the tub and the shower in this bathroom. I like the tub better, but showers are better functionally for your sim. They're quicker when they shower, the tub takes longer. But I guess as long as we put a tub upstairs and we have a tub in the house, it should be fine. I like to make sure we have at least one in every build because you do need them when you've got like dogs or little kids. These blinds are not very pretty. They barely are even white. That's what I get for putting so many windows in this bathroom though. Maybe I should lessen it. Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna try and copy something similar upstairs, but we'll use that beautiful tub instead. I'm gonna put the cowplant tarot card. I just can't help it. It's too good. I'm considering putting a brick wall right here, just along that back section because then it can match upstairs. I've also got to get some little fences right here. Is now the time to use that gallery wall again? Is it too much? It's maybe too much. I do think that this upstairs area can be a little bit brighter in terms of color scheme. Like it doesn't have to be all white. Also, I know this is clipping. I probably have to switch this out for one window, but I don't want to. I like it with two, but I guess it's fine. I'm putting this little towel cabinet upstairs right there. Oh, I forgot about this. You know what? That might be an interesting thing to put above the toilet. Does anything even slot onto that? It's like a little bit big for above the toilet. I think they're gonna hit their head, so it has to be sized down. Oh, we can still make it work though. Something like that actually looks really good. Okay, so that's better for the bathroom. I did talk about putting a desk up here. I don't think it's gonna fit anymore. I think it's a little bit too tight. I would like to try this little quilt wall hanging because that comes in some kind of pretty colors. And then we can get some little decorative stuff on the table up there. That might also have been a good spot to put something like this table, but I am a little bit worried about space. Honestly though, maybe we try it because that does fit really nicely upstairs. And oh no, it doesn't. The door's clipping. Never mind, sorry, false alarm. I think we should make one into a toddler room, one into a newborn's room so I can use the bassinet, and then maybe like one into a kid's room. And downstairs we can use this really beautiful bed with the florals. That is so Blue Suburban. This is so good for that. This is a perfect example, by the way, of the Blue Suburban thing not being my fault. Because look at this. We get this brand new pack and the only pastel swatch is blue. It's every single pack that's like this. There is a reason I make so many blue Sims houses, and it's just because everything is blue in this game. Yeah, I don't like the rugs from this pack. I may try to use a base game one, although I don't really like that one either. I'm gonna put a full-length mirror in the corner. I don't know if it's weird to have two mirrors on this wall, but I think it'd be nice to have a full-length mirror. I guess I could use this thing, although that is not the right colors. Oh, this kind of is. Ooh, okay, let's try that. I don't know what to put above the bed. I don't actually like anything. None of it's gonna fit right. You know what else we have is that new little ottoman like poof thing. I wonder if we could try that in this room somehow. It doesn't really fit either. Let's just leave it. Let's not do that. I could definitely put that in the kids' room. The kid's gonna have a base game bed, but we can try and match it with furniture from the pack. Like we can use this rug. I'll use the the same nightstands. I might even give them a desk. Is that weird? I'm also gonna try carpet in the kids' rooms. And I was thinking about putting these orange curtains. I never really used this color scheme, so this is very different for me. I don't know if it's good or bad. Ooh, Grim Reaper poster. It doesn't really look like a kids' room poster, but we can try. I think that's the beauty of this challenge. I'm really trying to use stuff in ways that I maybe wouldn't have before. It's helping me discover things about the pack. I do like this room, honestly. I think the blue and orange rug is kind of cool. If we're gonna have a toddler, I should probably put a toddler potty in this bathroom. A lot of these wallpapers are too dark, so I kind of want to use a plain white one, but maybe I could use the pretty blue bed and then match the curtains to it, because these curtains come in a teal color. It's not quite the same shade, but we can pretend. Oh no. No, 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 I don't like it. I'm scooting this as far into the wall as I can. I guess it's also possible that we could stick to like the purpley color, but even less is gonna match that, so I don't think I should. Do we dare use the Grim Reaper bunny? It does come in the pretty blue color, so we can get that kind of on this wall. Do any of the tarot cards come in some pretty blue colors? Oh, that one's got a mermaid. See, that's cool. I decided to put one of these little kids violins in here because I need to put more toys. I put some kids artwork on this wall. I'll probably get some little baby clutter. Okay, something like that. This is actually really nice as a toddler's room. It's got plenty of toys. Maybe we finish it off with that bookshelf. And then the last room is this little baby room. And I think that I'll probably use a lot of base game in here, but I will stick to the fancy bassinet. It's times like these that you realize the base game is extremely lacking. Like, we actually have very few options to use in this room, but I'm gonna kind of go for like a rainbow vibe. I'm stacking up some books. I'm getting like a ladybug and a little rainbow book stack. I've got this kind of rainbow bunny plushie. We could maybe even get an extra window because there's like no windows on the side of this house. That might help with this room too, because there's not much going on right there. There's all these things that I keep thinking like, oh, let me add a changing table. Can't. Doesn't exist in the base game. Not able to. There is at least a rocking chair in this pack, so I can use that in the corner. There's honestly not much of a reason to build a room for a baby this young because you're just gonna have to remove it and redo it when they age up in one day, but it's worth getting to use the new stuff. I want to be able to use all the new things, so I tried my best. And I think that's the full interior of the house done. We obviously have to do the whole outside now. I kind of want to start with the backyard because this is what I'm most excited about. I'm thinking it would be really nice to have fairy lights across the whole pool, so I'm gonna start with those. It also comes in white, so it matches the house pretty well. If I put a few bushes back behind it up against the wall, I think that looks really good. I was thinking I would probably want to have like a lighter stone flooring outside. I just don't know if I like that one. I'd also like to get a slightly darker pool trim just so it stands out a bit more. Ooh, I could probably put a tree right here. That's pretty nice. We get it kind of separated in its own little section like that. There is a lantern from Life and Death, so we can put that out here. I'll make sure I have a couple of outdoor trash cans in the back. And then in this section, I was gonna put a grill and like a dining table, so we can stick the grill in the corner. This is the dining table that matches the chairs. I just don't really know if I like it with the tablecloth. It feels kind of random for the outside, even though I think it's supposed to be for a party. We could just use it anyway. And I might get the 6 chairs around this table because we don't have that many chairs inside, and we have quite a few Sims that live in this house, so a little bit of extra won't hurt. Unless I should have put the hot tub there. Ooh, that's a little bit tight, but we could swap it. I could put the staircase like this. I guess then the dining table can stay up here, and we can have a big hot tub. I feel like that's worth doing. I think that's really good. I might get myself a few more little planter boxes around the place. Oh, I actually really like how this is turning out. We'll probably want to have a pool ladder. I also changed the pool tile to be a bit more blue and shiny. Oh, this is in the wrong place. Oh no, I do not like how this fence looks at all. If I remove that, I guess there could be like a slight opening so you can get out the backyard. Yeah, and I'll cover it with some bushes. That'll help it. There is a swing set in this pack. It does not come in white. It comes in like a kind of grayish color. I'm kind of thinking it's worth just using anyway, because it would be nice to have a swing set. And that might be the whole backyard done. We just have to figure out the landscaping in the front now. You know, I really did not mean to have everything in this house be white. Like, that's not what I set out to do when I started building it, but I don't think it looks bad. It actually feels very classic to me. And I think that might be everything. We'll just go through and put some terrain paint down as a finishing touch. I've got our mailbox, we've got the trash can. We don't need a thermostat because we don't have seasons. And that my friends, is the finished product. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. This one was really fun for me to build. I'm realizing that I like the wallpapers from this pack so much. Like these exterior wallpapers, the windows, the new foundation. There are so many nice things that are gonna work so well for so many builds. And as we've proven, you don't have to build a scary haunted house with this pack. It works for a normal suburban house too. I'm gonna stick it on the gallery for you. It is a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, so it works for a pretty big family, and it's only base game and life and death. So if you don't have any other packs, you can still download this one. Oops, I almost forgot to paint that wallpaper. I'm glad I noticed that. And huge thank you again to our friends over at Helix for sponsoring today's video. If you're looking to get a new mattress, you can check out the link down below or go to helixsleep.com/lilsimsie to get 20% off your order. I love my Helix mattress and I think that you will like it too. But have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'm gonna catch you all tomorrow, okay? Bye everybody. I don't know if you could see, but the little lump that was behind me there, that's Snap. She's been sitting on her tree the entire video. So if you saw any movement out of the corner of your eye, it was a cat. You weren't imagining things.